What's up, YouTube? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing great. Today, I want to talk about warning signs and red flags when dating. I have 23 of them, and before I start this video, they're not all from one particular person. These are like from maybe maybe a year, 2 years ago that I've noticed all these signs. So I finally have it all together, so now I'm ready to tell you guys exactly what I'm going to be talking about. All right, let's get started. All right, number one. Person doesn't notice you if you see them out in public, an app or something like dating app, or and you actually see, then you go out in public and you're out in the mall, you're out somewhere and you see this person and they don't acknowledge you, or if you walk past them at a bar or something and they don't acknowledge you, then all of a sudden, then you go home and then they notice you on this app. That's not a good sign. 9 times out of 10, they probably weren't even interested. Now all of a sudden they are, and it's probably not for the good intentions of why they didn't notice you the first time. If you look at them, smile, and they just walk past you, it's best you keep walking. Move on to the next person. I've read in books that maybe a date should last about maybe half an hour to 2 hour to an hour. If the date lasts more than an hour, you'll probably, and 9 times out of 10, never see that person again, and you're just wasting your time. If you meet someone for a couple of times already, the next thing it's like maybe 2 3 dates should be okay, should be sufficient when getting to know someone. If after one or two and then all of a sudden it's just like bam, they're so interested in you, that's once again not a good sign. They're probably just trying to find someone to either help their own selves, to help their own self-esteem and cure lonely nights. And it's just, once again, it's better off just to just walk away if they come on too quickly. If they avoid certain questions, like if we walk past, I don't know, a bakery, or you go through a supermarket or something, and you say, "Oh, what do you feel about marriage?" and all of a sudden they just go quiet, or you say, or you see them, you've been seeing them for a while, and you say, "Oh, well, they live on their own or something." And you say, "Well, let's go meet your parents," and unless they already told you the reasons why they don't want to introduce you to their family or friends that they're living with or whoever, once again, just it's best that you just walk away from it. My favorite one is secrets. We all have secrets, and we always tell people about them. And some people just can't keep their mouth shut about it. And I had an incident about it when I told someone something about me, and it said, "Don't tell anybody else." And every time I kept seeing this person, he'd have that look in his eye, and I'm like, "Okay, what did you do?" Like I first, it just stares in my eyes, and it's like he has a like something of, I know something, but it's gonna hurt you in the end. And it's just like, okay, how bad could it possibly be? And when I found out, he's like, "Aunt, I, told something about you that you told me to keep in secrecy," and I'm just like, fine. And the same person did it again. What? Then just has a look, and I'm just like, what is it? What do you have to, what do you want to tell me? And he, same concept. He just had to look. I'm just like, okay, just tell me, what is it? And he's like, well, I told more people. I'm just like, are you kidding me? So like, why don't you just tell everybody? And so it's just little things like that that just aggravate me. And here's one that most people probably overlook, but sometimes if you go in for a kiss and the person is just so quick with it, and I've done this numerous times. I've told people they'll kiss me, and the next thing I know, they're like either they're like all over, like they never. It's like everybody's like their very first kiss. I'm just like, whoa, just slow down, take it easy, just slow it down a notch. If someone is too quick with their kisses, that's not a good sign. If someone is not direct with you about why it's over, if they can't just say, you know what, we've been together for a while, or if they can't say to you that it's over and here are my reasons, and it's just like you still don't believe them. It's one of those inkling things, it's just like, okay, just give me the real reason. Don't BS with me. Just walk away. This has happened to me numerous times already. Is that I'll meet someone and I date them. We go on a couple dates. Then we talk about making it official, or um, and we just say, okay, well, just do it this way. We'll just start dating your boyfriend, whatever it is. If it only lasts about a month to 2 months, that's not a good sign. If you're already arguing and fighting consistently within first month, if people are, or even if it's everything's going okay, at least what you think, and then they're like, it's like you look at your calendar, you look at your watch, and it's just like, geez, it's only 2 months. It's just like, just end it. It's not going to last. As far as from what you believe in, it's not going to last. I once had a person who kept saying, "You're cute, you're cute, you're cute." Yes, okay, I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. I try to keep up with my appearances, but if all you can say, or if all you're doing is you're just dating me, or you're just dating someone because of their physical appearance, that's not gonna last too long. And what I may find be okay, and eventually will come crashing down to you and be like, geez, you know what, I really don't have anything in common with this guy. I was just only attracted to his physical appearance, which is not a good thing on your part. We all want that person who, well, most want that person who's interested in looks. If that's all you're going for, gotta research yourself a little bit and look deep into yourself. If you're on a date, if you're dating someone and you met them once and then you meet them again, like 2 days in a row, that's really not a good sign. I mean, unless they're, really eager to see you. But I mean, if I say, like, if I call someone up and say, hey, want to hang out? I hang out with someone, and then they say, oh, let's hang out again. Okay. And you know what? Guess what? Day two, you're like, hey, you want to hang out? And they're just like, okay. If they say that, it's not going to last long. Everybody's usually so excited to meet someone, like on a first date or something, or going out with someone. They're so proud and everything. If that hype of when you first met quickly dies, and it doesn't, last maybe 3 weeks to a month, then you really got to sit down with this person, really talk to them, saying, are you really interested in me, or do we have problems? Is really what you have to go for. And if they still can't come up with any good reasons or whatsoever, gotta leave them. If you've seen someone and they have all the free time in the world to text, and they're at their job, and I don't know, they work at McDonald's, Dairy Queen, something like that, and they can pull out their phones or something like that and say, it's like a slow night or something like that. And they're always texting you, always at the same time that, you guys are able to talk. And then one night, they slowly start to fade. That's usually a bad sign, and you have to confront them. And if they can't give you like a positive, definite reason, whatnot, gotta leave them. In text messages, you should, be like, hey, Eric, like, I should say, good morning, David. This person I'm dating, for example. If I say, good morning, David, it's like, hi, good morning, Eric. If all they're doing is just saying good, or if all they're saying is morning and hi, and not even using your name, that's a bad sign. That's not good, because anybody would be more than happy just to say, oh, good morning, so and so. Or if they have a nickname for you, if they're not using that nickname, or they were using it in the beginning, all of a sudden now it's slowly died, that's when you have to gotta cut it off. I once had an ex who calendar that was filled with hot guys, and he made a joke about saying, oh, I'll find someone hotter than you. And ironically, he wasn't in the best position to really say that. And it, you know, it ended, but not because of that, but just he really had to, if someone ever says something like, "I'll find someone better than you," and you really treat someone like really well, then they have serious issues. They really do. It's best to leave them. I should never hear anybody joke about a breakup. A breakup should be. It's one thing to say, it shouldn't even be like, I'm thinking about breaking up. But, you know, if someone is debating on whether to break up, they should break up. I shouldn't even hear. I once had someone joke about saying like, "Oh, we should just break up now." And I forget what happened. It's still pointing in my head, but it's like you should never ever joke about breaking up. Period. If someone does that, like saying, "Oh, we should just break up now," then it's like, please, by all means, do. I don't care, and that's their loss. When you set a time to meet, you should be on time at least, or not, if not earlier. Something happened with your car or traffic or something like that's understandable depending on where you live at. But I mean, if you're running more than 10, 15 minutes late, then and you're the person that's actually waiting for them at your destination you agreed on, it is just leave. If they're not, and if they call and say, "Oh, hey, now I'm fine," it's just like, no, I gave you time. You know, I mean, if you know where this person is in this area, lives in this area, and you really know the area pretty well, and they just give you BS, it's like, I wouldn't even give them a second chance. If big plans are made, like weddings, moving in together, etc., maybe moving out of state, it's best that's a really big sign, because it's like you barely know each other, and it's one thing to say, hey, I'm going overseas, let's I'm getting closer to deployment, and I gotta. It's like that's one thing, but I mean, if you're here in the United States, and you're just like, oh well, I'll just move with you, and it's just like we don't even really know each other too well. I mean, it's flattering that you follow me, but it's like, do you even have your own goals set, or you just following me, either to meet new people, or just pretty much, I'd sadly say, use me so you can meet new people in worst case scenario. But if someone, or even weddings, if they're just like, oh, let's get married, and it's like, okay, you know, want to do it, okay, you get a ring, I get a ring. If you get the ring and they don't give you something in return about it, then 9 times out of 10, anything like that is a big red flag, and you just want to drop it, just leave. You should be flattered to, see someone's name in your phone calls, your messages. If it's just, even if you both don't have time to actually sit down and talk, if they leave you a voice message, that should be like number one thing, that it's just like, oh, I get to hear your voice, even though, it should be like, oh, hey, how you doing? Work's been a killer, or I hope you're having a good day at work. See you soon, love you, things like that. If you know, if they don't leave you voice messages, and you call and they call you and they don't leave anything, that's kind of a downer, and it's a sign. If if people are just, you meet someone and they're just like, oh, let's, unless if you live on your own, really shouldn't meet the family too quick, especially if you know um, I once had an instance where I met someone, and I was uh, for his little brother's birthday, and and parents, his mom really liked me. Said, "Oh, you should come with me down to. We go to, what is it, North Carolina every year, so you should come with us." I'm just like, "Oh, great!" And little things like that. It's kind of like, you know, you don't know what's going to happen unless if this person's really determined to be with you. But I mean, it's like just be a little cautious with that. If someone tries to invite you to, you know, family gatherings and all that real quick, because if they're really not interested, then false hope. Usually when people meet you, they're so happy to see you and everything, and then after a while, which sadly sometimes this happens, is that they just, you know, be like, oh hey, how you doing? It's just like, oh hi. It's just like that honeymoon phase has already gone out, and it's died. And if that is the case, you have to really sit down with that person and just say, what's going on? What are we doing? If you're not happy with me anymore, then we should just break up. And that is another red flag. And the last flag is, if you are committed, if you're like so determined to be with them and saying, hey, look, you know, I'm willing to stick with you through thick and thin. I don't care what you did, what, rough family bad history, something like that. If they can't acknowledge that you're going to be by their side, then the hell with them. It really doesn't, just let them go. It's unfortunate, but you have to walk away and find someone who wants to be with you, not just someone who's up in the air about it. All right. This is quite a long video. This is one of those videos, like I said, I was working on. I was really sitting down with ideas, and I just kept coming up with ideas. The same thing with the 50 things about me. So, but I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope to hear from you soon. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye.